everyone, so today I'm going to be reacting to Miley Cyrus's Endless Summer Vacation album, and let's get into it. So the first song is going to be Flowers. I've already heard this one. I'll have my reaction in the cards right here if you guys want to check it out. And I like to listen to albums all the way through when I listen to them for the first time, so we will listen to it again for the video.
We were good, not a dream that can't be sold. Built a home and watched it burn. I didn't want to leave you and remember I can buy myself flowers, talk to myself for hours, and I can hold my head, love me better than you can. I can love me better, baby. Paint my nail, cherry red, no remorse, no regret. I didn't want to fight, but I can buy myself flowers, say things you don't understand. I can hold my hand, can love me better, I can love me better, baby. I didn't want to fight, then remembered I can buy myself flowers, talk to myself for hours. I can take myself dancing, yeah, I can love me better than you can. Can love me better, I can love me better.
Okay, so my thoughts on the song. Like I said in my initial reaction, I really enjoyed it. I still stand by the fact that it's definitely giving me Dua Lipa. It definitely could be something off of Future Nostalgia. I think the track that I was referencing was Love Again. It definitely gives me that vibe. Just in terms of, I believe the strings were on it, or chord progressions or production, something like that is definitely giving me a Dua Lipa vibe. Yes, I know that they collaborated on Prisoner, so I thought that that was kind of a neat link as well. And so I really appreciate this song. I like the production, I like her vocals, I like the lyrics, I like the sentiment. A little after I recorded my reaction, I found out that her ex-husband like dedicated a song, When I Was Your Man by Bruno Mars. I believe it was like that song, you know, I Could Have Bought You Flowers. I'm pretty sure it was that song, which is kind of weird because I'm pretty sure that's a breakup song saying, you know, I didn't treat you right and now you're gone and I should have done all these things for you, but that's beside the point. And so with this song, I heard that she was kind of responding to it and that she had to actually ask Bruno for permission. So that's definitely something that's really interesting to me. I won't lie, I got kind of tired of the song just because it was very popular. Like, I could not scroll 2 seconds on TikTok without hearing a song with this audio, so I kind of like got tired of it a little bit. But yeah, I've only listened to it like a few times whenever it came out. I let it sit because, like I said, I have a habit for overplaying singles. By the time I get to the album, I'm sick of it. But hearing it now again in full was really refreshing, so I probably just got tired of that particular snippet. But overall, I really enjoy the song. I think it's a great record. And now onto track 2, Jaded. Okay, so my thoughts on this song. This was kind of phenomenal to listen to. I really liked the chord progressions that were going on. I loved how her vocal like built up, and it was something that was a really emotive vocal performance. I could appreciate the lyrics as well for this track. Probably going to be one of my favorite songs on this album, honestly. I really liked everything about it. And now onto track 3, Rose Colored Glasses.
We could stay like
Okay, so my thoughts on this track off first listen, I'm really split on it. It's like, I like the lyrics and stuff, but the chord progressions, I'm not loving them, you know? I feel like if it maybe was like in a different key, maybe I would like it more, but it just sounds like maybe too bland in terms of the chord progressions. Like, it's like, I feel like there's an energy that she's giving, and it's like the chord progressions are like sucking the life out of the song, you know? And that's how I feel based off first listen. Of course, as I listen more, my opinions can change. That happens to me all the time listening to albums. But yeah, I was listening to it, I'm like, the chord progressions and all the progression of the song, it's just not going on to where I hope. Like, I like the lyrics and, you know, what she's saying in the vocal, but the production, I'm just like, it's throwing me off in like not in a good way, and that's how I feel at first listen. I can appreciate the psychedelic aspects about it. I just wish the production kind of like was something that complemented it more. But I'm definitely open to, you know, seeing how I feel about it as I listen to it more. I like to listen to albums on repeat for a bit, just so I can decide, okay, do I like the song, do I not like it? And usually I know off first listen, like, if it's gonna stick in my rotation. But sometimes songs do grow on me, but yeah, that's like my thoughts off of first listen. I thought it was cool how she referenced the album's title in the song. I love whenever artists do that, so I thought that that was a cool nod. So I wonder if that part in the song like inspired the song title or vice versa, and so I'll find out more about that later and why she decided to call the album that and everything, but that was a cool nod, I thought. And now to track 4, 1,000 Miles featuring Brandi Carlile.
Amazing. Driving around town in a beat up old Mercedes. When he smiles, I don't care about the past. I told myself to close that door, but I'm right back here again. I don't be right, but still I ain't got time for what went wrong. Out of my mind, but still I'm holding on like a rolling stone. 1,000 miles from anywhere. You real you. I was talking to you before I realized it's madness. Go back home, but all I get is a dial tone. Instead of hanging up, I hang my head. I told myself to close that door, but I'm right back here again. Not always right, but still I ain't got time for what went wrong. Out of my mind, but still I'm holding on like a rolling stone. 1,000 miles from anywhere. Told myself to close that door, but I'm right back here again. Where I end up, I don't really care. 1,000 miles from anywhere.
Okay, so my thoughts on the song, I really liked it. You know, her getting in her country bag again, it was kind of giving me, you know, like Younger Now the song, or like Malibu kind of vibes off of the Younger Now album. And I need to listen to that again for sure, because I don't really remember how I feel about that as an album, but I remember liking those, you know, singles off of it and stuff like that. And one thing I love about Miley, she's such a versatile vocalist that she can literally go in any genre that she wants. She can cover pretty much any song. She still sounds great. And she's one of the artists that I listen to, and 9 times out of 10, I'm gonna prefer her cover to the original. And so that's really testament to her as an artist, and just really shows off her versatility, which I quite like. So, you know, her stepping back into her country bag, I believe there was like some harmonicas or certain instruments on there that I really liked as well. And I thought Brandi Carlile was actually gonna have a verse, but it seems like she was just on background vocals, which I don't mind. I thought that she provided a nice harmony to it as well. I really like the lyrics for it as well, like the instrumentation. I like the production. I think it's a great track, you know, a nice change of pace from what we had, but it doesn't feel so out of left field. About the song, it says, 1,000 Miles started as a song that was very different from the one that's on the album. I wrote it in 2016 or 2017 after one of my really close friends lost her sister to suicide. Wow, that is really, really unfortunate, and I'm sorry that her friend had to go through that. And yeah, if you are feeling suicidal, please reach out to somebody and, you know, talk with them about it and things like that, because a lot of times, you know, there can be someone that you know that can be in your corner and can really help you get through that tough time. So I wanted to have that disclaimer there really quickly. It was originally called Happy Girl. It's about happiness and sisterhood. Now the song is filled with so much joy in the music. It's become something so far from the sadness that inspired the song. And that's really interesting that it started off one way, but it ended up another way. And I really love whenever artists talk about the process for their songs and like how it like came to be at the end, because sometimes they change up the song a lot, or they're like, oh, there's so many different versions and it took a while to find it. You know, kind of like what happened to Harry Styles with the Boyfriend song. He said he tried so many different versions, and then, you know, Ben Harper coming to the studio, you know, that was the one that he ended up going with. So it's really interesting hearing about how songs came to be and everything. Alright, now on to track 5, which is going to be You. I definitely heard this song before because she put it on her live album that she did, and I really liked it, so I've heard it a few times. I'm guessing they just switched up the production a little bit, and, you know, there's a little bit of changes, but we'll listen to it again and see what they did for the video.
I wanna set off alarms, deal out the cards, get kicked out of bars before 2. Only if it's with you. I wanna drive down to Texas, lip off my exes,
Okay, so my thoughts on the song overall, honestly, I cannot stand the production on this song. I feel like it just really sucks all the life out of the song once again. And her vocals, like the whole time I'm listening to it, I'm like, why does it sound off? Like, why does it sound like she had a different version of the production and she was singing to that key? Then they switched it and then they didn't tell it. Like, it sounds off the whole time. It was bothering me so much. And I'm like, why does it sound off? Like, why does it not sound right? And then it's just like, it just didn't have the same feel as it does whenever she did it live. Like, this song is giving me something that could be in a movie, you know, it's a song that you would play like at a bar or whatever when they're like, oh, you do karaoke? Let's hear you sing. So it's probably why I prefer it live. I feel like the vocals were just more raw and soulful in a way, and they just sounded better than this. Like, it sounds too, and I can't think of a better word to describe this, but it sounds too polished, it sounds too sanitized. Like, it just sounds off, and it is really bothering me the entire time. And it's like, dang, I really like the live version of it. I don't know what they did in the studio, but it's just, it's not clicking with me. It's not clicking with me. And it's like, maybe as I listen to it more, my thoughts can change. I'm like, the live version was superior. So whenever I finish this album, I'm gonna have the songs I like, I'm gonna throw the live version in there probably and just call it a day, because I don't know what they did in the studio, but it's just not, it's not giving for me off the first listen, but I'll see how it grows with me. And now on to track 6, Handstand.
We met each other on the neon dinghy. Electric eels and red venom. In the sky, we could see the riders on horseback on comets. My friend would twitch you at the boat to the light. Questioning the science 'cause you don't understand how I'm doing what I'm doing in a fucking handstand. You took it kind of fast, but you put it in slow. Your mother's calling and you didn't ignore.
Okay, so my thoughts on the song, the spoken word part at the beginning, not loving it. I'm very iffy on if I like spoken word parts in songs. Like, it really just depends on the song. For example, Alicia Keys, You Don't Know My Name, I cannot stand the spoken word part of the song, like on the back half. Like, it just runs way too long, make me cringe listening to it. And you know, Billy, Not My Responsibility, I get what the purpose of that song was, but I don't think it needed to be on Happier Than Ever. And there's some moments where there's a little like spoken word part, like on Mariah's I Wish You Knew, that I don't really mind. So it just like is song for song, but at the beginning, it was giving me Lana Del Rey cosplay. I don't even know that much about Lana Del Rey because I just do not like her music at all. Her voice personally isn't for me, but from like the snippets I've heard of her music, like it was definitely giving that to me. And then, you know, there was like those one parts with the production, I was like, where are we going here? And then it sounded like she was cosplaying Lorde, and I'm just like, what is going on with this song? It's like there was like segments of it that I liked, and I think it could be cool as like a tour opener maybe, but it's like, I don't know, it just kind of felt like a mess to me listening to it. And it's like, I get what they were trying to do, but I wasn't loving the execution of it. So that's how I feel off the first listen, honestly, and we'll see how I feel about it as I keep listening. Now on to track 7, River. Okay, so my thoughts on the song, I think that it's good. I feel like as it kept going, it was definitely something that got better. And so the spoken word parts, meh, kind of iffy on them. I might be able to just like tolerate them for now. Like, I think that as I listen to it more, I'll probably get used to it in terms of that. Production was really interesting. It was giving me really 80s, like maybe Madonna, even though I'm not that familiar with Madonna, but what I know off of her, it's giving me Cyndi Lauper, Girls Just Wanna Have Fun, Whitney Houston, I Wanna Dance with Somebody, and I'm just talking solely chord progressions, right? And you know, it's probably like a dance song, you know, with the production and stuff like that. So that was really something that's interesting song. To me, it seems like she's like paying homage to the 80s, and you know, I like that kind of music. So I like the production on it. I thought the vocals were cool in it. I like the lyrics. Probably just gonna take me a second to get used to the spoken word part or whatever. And like I said, the song, like once it gets going, it gets going. It's just like the beginning part, not as sold on it as the rest of the song, but I'll see how I feel about it as I keep listening. About the song, it says, "This was a time in my life where I thought I was going through a lot emotionally and personally, and then I had a dance party with my friends. The rule was that every girl had to bring their gay best friend or no entrance. We were listening to Diana Ross, Whitney, Lindsay, Paris, Britney, all legends. See, I was just talking about Whitney Houston. What did I say? The song evolved from a trouble where it felt like it never stopped raining to then raining down with love. Now into track 8, Violet Chemistry. Okay, so my thoughts on this overall, it didn't go to where I hoped. I thought that the production was really interesting to listen to, but my problem is the lyrics are way too repetitive. And I don't mind if the lyrics are more repetitive if I like really enjoy it. I enjoyed it enough the first time, but hearing that part like 5, 6, 7 more times, like it got very old to me. So I feel like, you know, if the lyrics like would have been switched up a little bit more, I would appreciate it more. I really like the bridge because it was different from everything else. But yeah, I just didn't progress how I would have hoped in terms of the lyrics. You know, there's elements that I liked about it, but I felt like it was just going here the whole time besides the bridge, and then it went up and then it's like it went back down. So I'm like, you know what, I might have to listen to this more, maybe it can grow on me, but that's how I feel at first listen. Now onto track 9, which is going to be Muddy Feet featuring Sia. Before I get into the song, I wanted to say I do not like Sia as a person. The entire thing with the music film that she did and the controversy with that, I believe it was autistic people were offended by it, you know, their portrayal of them and stuff. The way that she handled the backlash was extremely poor. I do not like her. I have not supported, you know, any of her music directly for years. I don't know if it's a situation to where she's just going to be on background vocals throughout the entire song, or she's going to have a verse on it. We will see. If she has a verse, I'm going to skip through it the best that I can, but I wanted to have that disclaimer going through before I play the song.
I don't know who the hell you think you're messing with. Get the fuck out of my life with that shit. You smell like perfume that I didn't purchase. I know how you've been closing the curtain. Get the fuck out of my house. You're coming wrong with your muddy feet. I'm about to do somebody. Back and forth, always questioning my questioning. You watered the weeds and you killed all the roses. Get the fuck out of my house with that shit. You're coming wrong with your muddy feet. I'm about to do somebody. I don't know who you're messing with. I'm about to do somebody.
Alright, so that's gonna be it. I think that was Sia's part at the end, or maybe it was Miley not confusing it for Sia, but like I skipped past it because like I said, I'm gonna skip past whatever involvement Sia has in it if she has a verse, like the best of my abilities. My thoughts on the song, I honestly did not really like it that much. Like, this honestly sounds like it could have been on the cutting room floor. Wasn't necessary on the album to begin with. And then the Sia stuff is just like the salt in the wound. And so yeah, I'm not going to be having this in my heavy rotation. Now into track 10, Wildcard.
Do you wanna play house? I could be your wife. Maybe I can stay and not break your heart. Don't forget, baby, I'm a wild card. Love when you hold me. Don't wait for me. I'm a wild card. Hold me, never go. Walk in the door, my lips stained red. Make the music stop before it starts. I love when you hold me. I'm a wild card. Tell me all you've never enough.
Okay, so my thoughts on this track. I liked it on first listen. You know, I definitely thought it was better than, you know, the past couple tracks I've been hearing, so I will say that about it. I'm curious to see how this is going to stay in rotation though, because I can definitely see myself like tiring of this one. You know when sometimes you listen to stuff and you know like at a certain point it's gonna get old for me? I think it's the production, I think it's chord progressions there. Like I don't really know how else to like explain it, but like some rationale I'm like in my brain, like that's how I'm feeling about it. But you know, I can appreciate it for what it is. I like the vocal, you know, it's a good song. And now on to track 11, Island.
I'm on an island, dirty dancing, I'm still wishing for the love that I don't have. Mama told me, girl, so come if you got 'em. So I'm sitting here wondering, I'm stranded on an island. Have I landed paradise? I can make my toenails while I'm soaking up the sea. Down I sure gets lonely at night. Mama told me, girl, so come if you got 'em. Am I stranded on an island? Have I landed in paradise? I hear your voice like a song on the radio. I hear your voice like a song on the radio. Stranded on an island. Have I landed in paradise?
Okay, so my thoughts on the song, great track. I feel like it really lives up to the title. Just something that was really relaxing and comfortable to listen to. I liked her vocal delivery, how it was switched up throughout the song. I really like how the production, you know, really fit up her voice. I like the lyrics for the song as well. Probably going to be one of my favorite songs on the album. About the song itself, the idea for Island is about two opposing forces. I was contemplating this life that I have for myself. I've been able to create these paradises where I feel safe, but is my life a paradise or is it a lonely island? That's some food for thought. And now on to track 12, Wonder Woman.
She's a Wonder Woman, knows what she likes. Million moments, never know when she cries. Her favorite record's on and she's dancing. She can't stop her eyes from welling up. Make sure that no one's around to see her fall apart. Won't stop, woman. Pain is falling. When her favorite record's on and she's dancing, she can't stop her eyes from welling up. Make sure that no one's around to see her fall apart. She's a Wonder Woman, never know she's broken.
Okay, so my thoughts on the song. Honestly, the first part of the song, like before it really went into high gear, like the intro of it, like I found that boring if I'm being honest. I was like, it was giving something that I just wasn't really intrigued listening to like the very beginning of it. But as it started to pick up, I was like, okay, like I'm with it, like it's fine. I don't know how this is gonna stay in my rotation. Maybe the beginning part can grow on me, but that's honestly I think. I feel like her vocals really stood out on the song. I really like the lyrics here and the sentiment of it. Basically, it kind of just seems like, you know, I feel like it really applies to mothers and just like women in general. But it feels like a lot of times whenever you're that strong person, you know, in the friend group, in your family, or like whatever it is, you just get so used to dealing with other people's traumas and trying to make sure that other people are right and stuff like that. And people think because, you know, you can do that whenever and that you hold it together, well, to a certain degree. And it's like you don't really get checked on as much as you would like. Everyone needs to be checked in on and, you know, cared for and stuff like that. And just because you're a stronger person doesn't mean like you don't need that guidance, doesn't mean you don't need no one to talk to. So I think that's what it is. It's like, oh, you know, she's just trying to keep it together or whatever. And then when she's out of the situation, you know, like she's really going through it. And I think that that's definitely something, you know, I can relate to personally. I can appreciate the music. Again, not sure how it's gonna stay in my rotation if I'm honest, but that's how I feel. About the song it says, I wrote this song after my mom had lost her mom. Me and my mammy were really close and she ran my fan club. If you got an autograph from my fan club in 2008, 2018, that was probably my grandma. It's about generational strength and the wisdom that my grandma gave my mom. It's embedded in my DNA. So we almost all feel like one woman in a way, one Wonder Woman. And now to the 13th and final track, Flowers demo.
We were good, we were gold, built a home and watched it burn. I don't wanna leave you, then remembered I can buy myself flowers, talk to myself for hours. I can take myself dancing, yeah, I can love me better than you can. Make my nails cherry red, no remorse, no regret.
Okay, so my thoughts on that, really interesting to listen to, a different vibe than, you know, the one that's fully produced, but I really like listening to it. And like I say, I really like hearing, you know, how songs started off. I love a good demo, and I like seeing how things progress. And overall, I think that the final production fits it a lot more than this, but it was something that was cool overall, and it's just nice seeing where things start. About the song, it says, the demo is pretty different from what ended up being released as a celebratory song it is. When you strip away all the sounds and all the big harmonies, there's a lot of sadness to it. I've always liked the idea of fake it till you make it. On the first chorus, I'm trying to convince myself. By the third chorus, you can hear that confidence. That I finally believe in. And now into my favorite songs on the album based off of my first listen. So I'm going to say Flowers. I really like Jaded. I really like 1,000 Miles featuring Brandi Carlile. And lastly, I'm going to say Island. And so this is just how I'm feeling based off of first listen. Of course, as I listen more, my opinions can change. And now into my overall thoughts on this album. Honestly, this might be the most polarizing album reaction I post on the channel. And the closest thing I can think of to this would be like the Alicia Keys stuff I've done, because usually like the first half of her albums, and then the back half I was like, it's just going on with these boring bland ballads. So for this, it was really a lot more of a mixed bag than I thought it was going to be. You know, I saw one of my Twitter mutuals, you know, saying that, and I was like, you know, I'll keep that in mind. But yeah, it's just like, I don't know, it didn't really gel with me as well as I hope that it would have, which is kind of disappointing and stuff like that. I can appreciate her being more experimental. A lot of times I'm not liking the more experimental stuff necessarily. Some songs I feel like they were like more one note in a bad way, and I just really couldn't get into them, or spoken word situations, or production, or like whatever it is that I really had an issue with. You know, it's very different. Also, something worth noting on this album is the collaborations were kind of disappointing. I felt like the Brandi Carlile song was probably going to end up being good. The Sia thing was disappointing because of what I was saying earlier with the music controversy and things like that. I was hoping for some more big name collaborations. Maybe a Harry Styles, maybe a Ariana Grande. You know, you could even do someone like Rina Sawayama, who isn't really mainstream right now, but she's kind of like gaining more popularity. Literally did a whole TikTok with some collaborations I would have liked to see. So the collaborations were a little underwhelming. Like I said, Brandi Carlile's song was great. No qualms with that. It's the whole Sia thing, which is another thing. But yeah, kind of disappointing in terms of the collaborations. Also, I'm pretty sure that Tyler Johnson and Kid Harpoon produced most of this. I think Mike Will Made It did like a track or two. And I know those other two guys because they produced for Harry Styles, and I really like Harry's work. And so yeah, I'd appreciate her going more experimental, but a lot of times it just didn't work in her favor in my personal opinion. And so usually it's an entire thing of, I don't like to post album reactions to my channels of stuff where it's like, I don't really like the album that much, like only like a few songs or whatever, or I have more of a split reaction just because it takes more time for me to edit the album reaction. Singles is not really that big of a deal. It takes significantly less time, so I don't really mind doing it for singles. So this will probably be like the first time that it's like, I'm kind of like more split on it as far as, you know, the other albums I reacted to and stuff like that. But the reason I'm still gonna post this is just because, you know, I really wanted to listen to this album and show you guys my reaction. You guys are gonna be asking me how I feel about the album anyways and such. And so yeah, let me go and post this. I don't know how split that this album is going to be in terms of fan reaction and stuff like that. If I'm more on one side and you guys are really loving it more. I'm sure my comment section is gonna be a mess. I'm sure people are gonna be driving me for my thoughts about the album. Hey, it is what it is. I am no stranger to having a comment section that is just weird. You know, the Grammys videos and, you know, the SZA video that I did because I skipped the Travis Scott song. You know, it comes with the territory. I'm cool with it. But like I said, I will be listening to this album more, and I'll see how it grows on me with time. And, you know, like I said, this is just first listen. You know, Beyonce's Renaissance album, I thought it was a good one to first listen to it, you know, but I didn't like some of the songs. You know, I didn't really care for Move. I didn't really care for Thick, right? And those songs really grew on me, and that became my album of the year for last year. So, you know, I'm gonna keep listening to this album. I'm gonna see how it grows on me and things like that. I might do a Twitter space in like a week or two talking about it with some of my other mutuals and talk about my updated thoughts on it. Or, you know, maybe just filming a video for here. It really depends. Twitter spaces are a lot easier to do because I don't have to formally get ready, and, you know, the editing isn't as much. So I might be doing that in a few weeks to share my updated thoughts on the album with you guys. So yeah, I can't stress enough. This is just a first listen. I'm going to be having this in my rotation. Besides the Sia song, like, that's pretty much chubbed. So basically, I liked a couple of songs. It's just more of a mixed bag for me, and we will see how it goes with time. But let me know what you guys are thinking down below in the comments. Any information about the album that I should know, how are you feeling about it, what are your favorite songs, all that stuff, let me know down below there. Also, if you want to see more videos on Miley Cyrus, I'll have a card on screen right here to where you guys can go to. Also, I wanted to say, in terms of the Paramore reaction, I know I said it was coming this week, and I hope that I can get it out this week. If it's not this week, it should be out early next week. It's just other things came up, and yeah, I really don't like to make promises that I can't keep. So apologies for that and the Aretha thing, and yeah, I just have like so much on my plate right now and just life and everything. It's like kind of overwhelming, so I'm trying to get to finish editing that, but I will edit that and I'll have that out. Obviously, I'm gonna put this one out first because this just dropped and I'm a lot more late to the Paramore album, so I can take my time with that. But yeah, hopefully that's gonna be coming soon. But that's gonna be it for the video. Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed it, give it a like down below. It helps me on the YouTube algorithm. I very much appreciate it. You can subscribe if you want to see more videos like this. Hit the bell to get a notification to your phone when I post, so you're not missing brand new videos come out. First link down below in the description is going to be my second channel. Check out my latest video on there. I just posted another one and I have more to come. Also going to have my Twitter. I was just on a Twitter space today actually talking about at least self-titled album, and we just did one for 1 in a Million, so you can go on my profile to the search bar and tap in like spaces I've spoken in, and you can listen to the recording there. I'm also going to be having my Instagram, my Spotify, my TikTok if you guys like to follow me on those, as well as a link to stream this album. And lastly, to educate you guys on putting situations. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in my next one.